Hey, it's Megan from Megan and Macrame again, back with another tutorial for you. So today we're going to talk about the Lark's head knot, which is how you attach your rope to whatever you're using, your dowel or your driftwood. Then we'll be talking about the square knot and then an alternating square knot so you can make a pattern with the square knot. So let's get started. So you're going to want to run your fingers through your piece of cord that you've cut and run it up to the top to find the middle of your cord, and that's going to create that loop. We're going to take that loop and put it over top of your dowel or your driftwood. There's a loop behind, the tail is going to go through the loop, and then we're going to pull tight. Once you get this knot, it's pretty easy to keep going. So we're going to attach the rest of our cords to the dowel. Okay, so all my cords are attached, and a lot of questions I get in workshops is how tight do you want to attach them? My explanation for that is you want them to be tight enough so they're staying in place, but you also want to be able to move them because as you're working your pattern, you might want to move these closer or farther apart, and I like to attach them where this bump here is just touching the bump beside it. So you kind of want to have them spread out fairly evenly. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we're going to go ahead with the square knot. I'm going to take my first 4 cords. The square knot consists of 4 cords, your 2 outer cords, which are the working cords, and then your 2 inner cords, which are the filler cords. They're just going to fill out the knot, and the 2 outside cords are going to do all the work. So we're going to take our left hand cord, make a V behind the filler cords, and then that is going to go over top of the right. So it looks something like that. Then we're going to take our right hand cord, put it up and through that loop. So you should have something that looks like that. And then just gently pull and then tighten, making sure that bar is nice and level to the ground. We don't want it on an angle. And then we're going to take then we're going to do it on the right hand side. So we're going to take our right hand cord, put it underneath, make a V. So that is that loop there. Make a V. Make sure it goes over top of your left hand cord. And we're going to take that left hand cord over and up and through that loop. So you have a complete square knot. You should have 2 bars and a bump. Now we're going to go ahead and start with the next 4 cords. My 2 working cords and my 2 filler cords. So we are going to make a V underneath the 2 filler cords. So that's that loop there. Then we're going to take our right hand cord, put it up over top of the filler cords and through that loop. You should have something that looks like that. Pull it up. There we go, we have 1 bar. Now we need to do it on the other side to complete the square knot. So we're going to take our right hand cord, put it underneath, take our left hand cord, make sure it goes underneath there, and then up through the loop, and then pull tight. And again, I'll do it over here, underneath, over, up, and through. And then on the right-hand side, over, up, and through. So that is the square knot. If you need to, rewind it a bunch of times and go through that until it becomes second nature to you. That's what I had to do with YouTube videos. I would just rewind them a million times until I was comfortable. And we are going to start doing the alternating square knot. All that means is we are going to alternate the cords that we are using when it says alternating square knot. So in order to do that, we're going to start by skipping 2 cords and using the next 4 cords, which are 2 from that previous square knot and 2 from that previous square knot. If it helps, you can always put these two cords over top so you know not to use them. So we are going to skip the first two, 1, 2, and then move on to the next 4 cords. As you can see, there's 2 from that square knot and 2 from that square knot to make 4. And we're going to do our square knot again. So we're going to start with the left, underneath, up and through the loop. And when you pull tight, still make sure that it's nice and level to the ground. You are going to have a bit of a space, and that's part of the design. And then we're going to do it on the right hand side, wrap in through. And you can see we have a square knot, 2 bars, and a bump. Now I'm going to take my next my next 4 cords, which are 2 from that previous square knot there and 2 from that previous square knot, and then we'll have 2 left over. So we're going to do our square knot. So we can see there's 1, 2, 3, and then we have 1, 2. If you wanted to do another row of alternating square knots, you would again start with the next 4. I'm just going to show you what that looks like because it'll leave a bit of a space. So we are going to take our first 4 cords and we're going to do our square knot. Now this is where some people will tighten it and it'll go on an angle like that. Do you see that? But what you want to do is actually make sure that that bar is still level to the ground. You are going to have a space right there, and that's okay. That's part of the design. And then we're going to do it on the right hand side. So basically we're repeating the first row. We're going to take our next 4 cords. And once you start doing this knot over and over again, it'll just become second nature. And again, so at the end, you're going to have that space, but make sure you're still making that bar nice and level to the ground. So that is 3 rows of alternating square knots. You have row 1 with 1, 2, 3 square knots, row 2 with 1, 2, and row 3 with 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to go even further and show you how to make the the V pattern. So basically you're doing the alternating square knot, but each row you're going to skip 2 more cords. So we're going to repeat row 2 again with 2 square knots. So we're going to skip the first 2 and go to the next 4. Do our square knot. Do a square knot with the next 4. So we were repeating that same row we did up there. So we left 2 on this side and 2 on that side. And to make that V, now I would skip 2, 4. So I would take the 4 cords that are left there and do a square knot. And you have that V pattern. So you have 4 on this side and 4 left on that side. And that is how you do it. So, and then you could unravel the rope. If this is 3-ply rope, you could unravel it. And then you could trim it if you'd like on an angle. If you have the 1-ply rope, obviously it doesn't need to be unraveled, but you'd still trim it. And that's how you do the V pattern. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that was helpful. I did it all pretty much in one go, so don't mind my stumbling over my words. I'm just doing this in real time with you guys. So let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you enjoyed it.